Kalau awak rasa gigi longgar memang tak boleh dirawat, maka hari ini awak terserempak dengan saya memang betul-betul bertuah. Cara saya ni cuma perlukan 7 hari saja. Gigi awak boleh sembuh, nak gigit tulang besar pun tiada masalah langsung. Kalau tak berkesan, bos besar sendiri akan datang jumpa awak dan bagi pampasan sebanyak RM1,000.
Kalau tak berkesan, bos kami sendiri akan datang ke rumah awak dan beri pampasan RM1,000 sebagai ganti rugi. Dengar cakap saya satu kali saja. Cubalah ubat gigi Lanzef ni, memang berkesan sangat. Ambil satu tiup, bawa balik, gosok setiap malam sebelum tidur. Bahan mineral aktif dalam ni boleh meresap jauh ke dalam. Baik pulih dengan kuat dan kukuhkan gigi awak. Kalau gusi awak dah surut bertahun-tahun, gigi makin panjang, celah makin luas, akar gigi dah patah, hujung akar bernanah, sampai makan pun dah susah. Jangan tunggu lagi. Cepat cuba sekarang. Sekali guna pun awak dah boleh rasa perubahan dia. Paling penting, harga sekarang pun sangat berbaloi. Order sekarang terus dapat diskaun 50%. Cepat klik link di bawah dan beli sekarang.
Hello my friends, welcome back to our channel. Home is where our heart is, where today I'm absolutely blessed to be spending the afternoon in the company of the humble hawthorn tree. The hawthorn tree is such an incredible tree. This tree can live for over 400 years and it provides a wealth and abundance of food for wildlife. In the spring, the hawthorn tree bursts into life with its beautiful flower blooms, and this provides pollen and nectar for the insects. Then later on in the year, as the earth tilts away from the sun and we near the autumn, these flowers transform into the hawthorn berries, providing and yet again a wealth of food for more wildlife such as the birds. Now the hawthorn tree is an incredible tree that's actually been used for centuries, going all the way back in time for its medicinal properties, because the leaves, flowers and berries of the hawthorn tree are not just edible, they're medicinal. So come with me and we'll learn all about the hawthorn tree's medicinal properties, and then we'll head home and Stella's going to show you how to make the delicious hawthorn honey. So the hawthorn's been used for many ailments throughout history, and it's most commonly used for strengthening and healing the heart. That's where the hawthorn berry's power lies. The hawthorn berry was first recorded in the world of herbal medicine, herbalism, by the ancient Greek physician Dioscorides, and he said, "The hawthorn is effective for increasing the strength of heart contractions, increasing blood flow to the heart." So what's really interesting about that is that's the first recorded use of hawthorn being used to treat ailments to do with the heart. But all throughout history, the ancient Chinese, all around Europe, everyone for centuries has been using the berry, mainly the berry of the hawthorn, for this purpose. So the hawthorn berry has been known in traditional medicine as a treatment for things like heart failure. So then science had a look at it, and they done a study on more than 850 people, and this concluded that those who took hawthorn extract along with their heart failure medications experienced improved heart function and exercise tolerance. They also experienced less shortness of breath and fatigue. And then there was a massive study on more than 2,600 people with heart failure, and this suggested that supplementing with hawthorn berry may reduce the risk of sudden heart-related death. Isn't that incredible? After all of this time gone by, this knowledge being passed from generation to generation, and then these studies being done proving that they had it right all along. Absolutely mind-blowing. How did they know? Nobody knows. But now the hawthorn berry, if you want to bring it into your life, of course, first thing you got to do is learn how to identify the tree. So let's learn how to identify the hawthorn tree. So firstly, you've got the hawthorn tree's bark. You can see it's almost a shade of grey, and the trunk kind of twists round out the ground, creating a tension within it. Then of course you've got these big thorns, giving it the name the hawthorn tree. You don't want to mess with these. Then you have the berries, These, when they're ready, are bright red, small and round. Now these bright red hawthorn berries look like little apples and they're edible, but the seed inside isn't edible. When you squeeze them open, you'll see the seed inside. You can't eat the seed, but the flesh of the berry is edible. You can see it's kind of oily and it actually tastes like a bland apple. Now the main way you can tell you've got a hawthorn tree is by its leaves. These leaves have 5 lobes. They're deeply lobed and these lobes alternate in different directions. These are the main way we can tell we've got a hawthorn tree. So the humble hawthorn tree is pretty simple to identify, but just so you're confident and I'm confident, let's compare it to a tree that you don't want to accidentally mistake for the hawthorn tree, and that's the poisonous yew tree. Now the yew tree, if you look at its leaves, totally different to the hawthorn. The yew tree's leaves are like needles, the hawthorn leaves with the 5 lobes. And then when we look at the berries, when we compare the berries, on the left we have a hawthorn berry that looks like a little red ripe apple, and then on the right we have a yew berry. Now you can see the yew berry's red flesh doesn't completely encapsulate the seed. Now these are the comparisons. On the left we have hawthorn berry, on the right yew berry. It's pretty easy to tell the difference between a yew tree and a hawthorn tree, but it's definitely best to know and understand them basic trees, because the yew tree is deadly poisonous. It takes just 2 seeds of a yew tree to kill a horse and just 50 of the needle-like leaves from the yew tree to kill an adult. So let's talk about the edibility of the hawthorn. Now in early spring, when these little leaves start to appear, these are edible and they're known to the older generation as bread and cheese because they kind of taste like a savoury snack. So in early spring you can eat the hawthorn leaves, and then of course when the berries appear in late summer and autumn, these are edible as long as you spit out the seed. They make a delicious snack. They taste kind of like a bland apple. And we really love them in our house because they've not got an amazing flavour compared to say a blackberry, but they're a really autumnal kind of flavour. They're really earthy. There's something special about them. It's probably our tickers telling us that they approve and put more of these little berries in the body, please. Now there's lots of recipes you can make with hawthorn berries, and there's lots of reasons why you should. For one, they're a powerhouse in polyphenols. These are antioxidants that you can find in plants. And secondly, it's just a really good fun recipe to get out with your friends and family, and you can create it together. It's a bit of work, the hawthorn berry recipes. It's not as simple as a little boil. There's a bit of hand labour going on, but the end result is a much more unique recipe. Now, one of the most popular recipes of hawthorn is hawthorn ketchup. With a little bit of medium through a sieve, sugar, vinegar, you can create your own ketchup alternative. And this is rich in all them antioxidant properties. And it tastes surprisingly like ketchup. I'm a bit of a ketchup snob personally. I love ketchup. I have ketchup on nearly everything, and this gets the thumbs up from me. And secondly, what we'll show you how to make today is Stelly's new recipe, hawthorn honey. This is the hawthorn berry infused with actual honey, so it can last all throughout the year, and we can use it in teas or even a cheeky honey sandwich, and that brings all that good heart strengthening goodness into our body in a nice sweet treat.